The next participant from the batch number 12 is Mr. Ahmed Raza. Please.
जो पेज रीडिंग है उसको भी काउंट कर लीजिएगा, ठीक है? जी जी।
20 सेकंड का एज मिल सकता है
क्या?
20 सेकंड का सर्कुलर एज मिल सकता है या नहीं?
नहीं,
मैक्सिमम
पूरे मैक्सिमम 5 मिनट्स, नॉट मोर दैट। ये लो, ये माइक।
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Fellow teachers, dear judges, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ahmed Raza and today my topic is 21st century challenges and Pakistan. So Pakistan was like this flower. A unique, resilient, with full of potential to bloom. But what we have did with it? We have just plucked out its petals with corruption, illiteracy, identity crisis, extremism, and etc. Now this is the Pakistan. Now this is Pakistan, but this is Pakistan right now. So the challenges of 21st centuries are not like economy, technology, artificial intelligence. These are not, stop this rubbish, these are not our challenges. Should we talk about the 40 kilometers above ozone hole? No, we shouldn't talk about it. Let's discuss the sewerage hole of our chalks, not the ozone holes. Should we talk about technology? Moon missions? No. We are still stuck in के पाए ने सारी ईद 29वें रोजे तो बाद होनी है 30वें रोजे तो बाद. We are still stuck in this. And the world are going on moons and Mars. And our national crush of our nation, corruption. So who is corrupt? Are they politicians, bureaucrats, business tycoons? No, it's you and me. Why we are talking about climate change? Why you and me are not just planted at least a single tree to resolve this issue? Why you and me are involved in throwing rubbish on roads and streets and still we are demanding health facilities? Why you and me are just involved in breaking the traffic signals like it's our national duty and still we are demanding justice? Sir, you and me are behaving like a beggars. And you know that beggars can't be choosers. The sight never ever change. This is the observation and the observance. मंजर नहीं बदलता, उसको देखने वाली आंख और नजरिए बदलते हैं. So this is a water, but it's upon you that how you will see it. Either it's half filled or half empty glass. So there are millions of books and hundreds of libraries in this world, and world is still in search of knowledge. So how can I describe all these issues in these 5 minutes? I'm just here to give you just a hint. In my sight, these are the challenges of world. Ozone depletion, these are not our challenges. These are the challenges of advanced countries. Our challenges are what I have mentioned before and after. Our challenges are like load weddings, demanding of a luxury dowry. Our challenges are like extremism, on which one extreme there are persons who are not giving marriage and inheritance rights to their sisters and daughters, and on other extreme, mera jisam meri marzi. These are our challenges. We are still stuck in this. जिस मुल्क के अंदर खाने के पैसे ना हो वहाँ बच्चे ये क्यों सोचे कि तालीम हमें क्यों नहीं मिल रही, वहाँ पे ये ओजोन डिप्लीशन, these are all things, nothing but rubbish. These are nonsense things for that people. Why they think about these things? So, I will like to conclude my speech with some ashar of Dr. Iqbal. But before, raise your hands if you are citizens of Pakistan. Raise your hands. The persons who don't raise their hand, are they from Israel? Raise your hands. So Iqbal said, गैरत है बड़ी चीज जहाने तगो दो में, पहनाती है दरवेश को ताजे सरे दारा, हासिल किसी कामिल से ये पोशीदा हुनर कर, कहते हैं कि शीशे को बना सकते हैं खारा. अफराद के हाथों में है अक़वाम की तकदीर, हर फर्द है मिल्लत के मुकद्दर का सितारा. So, country is yours, challenges is yours. Groom yourself to groom your country. Just like this flower. Pakistan Zindabad, over to you.
Mr. Ahmed is having a unique style. Hope so you have been entertained by Mr. Ahmed Raza. And the next contestant from the batch 12 is Mr. Hamza Rasool. Please get your hands together.
Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon everyone. Respected visionaries, throughout the history, nations have been defined not by the ease of the journey, but by the resolve with which they face their most daunting trials. Today, Pakistan stands at such crossroads where the weight of our choices will echo for generations to come. So what defines a great nation? Is it wealth, power, or courage to face its flaws and rise stronger with each challenge? Pakistan's answer to this question will shape the destiny of millions. My fellow citizens, my topic for today's discussion is the challenges of 21st century and Pakistan. As Quaid-e-Azam once proudly declared, Pakistan is proud of her youth, particularly the students who are the nation builders of tomorrow. Today, as I look around this room, I see exactly what our founding fathers saw. Not just faces, but the true architects of our nation's future. We stand at a pivotal moment in human history, a time that brings extraordinary opportunities, but also immense challenges. The 21st century is marked by the crises that defy borders, affecting every nation and every individual. Climate change looms over us as one of the greatest existential threats of our time. Then there's the rapid pace of technological advancement, which are transforming the world at an unprecedented speed. And let us not forget the economic instability that has touched every corner of the world. In Pakistan, this instability has amplified our domestic struggles. Rising inflation, soaring debts, and limited resources. These economic hardships are not just statistics. They affect the lives of millions of people. With a population roughly two-thirds that of United States in an area slightly less than the size of two Californias, Pakistan is experiencing unwanted growth. With an average of $2,000 of GDP per person, every person is forced to live off very limited resources. But these are not just Pakistan's challenges. These are the defining challenges of our century. What sets nations apart is not the presence of problems, but the courage to confront them and the vision to transform them into opportunities. This is where we and the youth of Pakistan come in. As Allama Iqbal once said, from your past emerges your present, and from the present is born your future. Despite the weight of these challenges, we are witnessing remarkable stories of resilience and innovation right here in Pakistan. The world might focus on our challenges, but they don't see what we see. They don't see how we are building digital infrastructure. They don't see how countless young Pakistanis are learning to code, creating startups, and developing the solutions for tomorrow's problems. But let me be clear, the future will not build itself. It is not enough to observe it. We must lead it. The time for hesitation is over. The time for action is now. Our ancestors built this nation with their sweat and blood. Now it is our turn to build this nation with our innovation and our determination. As our Qaid advised, I insist you to strive, work, and only work for your satisfaction with patience, humbleness, and serve thy nation. So I ask you, will you be the generation that future Pakistanis thank? Will you be the ones who transform our challenges into triumphs? Will you be the new architects of a new Pakistan? Remember, great achievements don't begin with grand gestures. They begin with one person saying, I can try. They begin with one person saying, I can make a difference. They begin with you today in this very moment. So let them say that this was a generation that didn't just dream, they acted. Let them say that this was the generation that didn't just hope, they built. And let them say that this was the generation that changed everything. Stand up, step forward. Your time is here. Pakistan Zindabad. Thank you.
And strengthening the democratic values is the only way moving forward. Another significant challenge confronting Pakistan is terrorism. This wave of terrorism has claimed countless lives, destroyed our infrastructure, and undermined our country multiple times. The attack on Army Public School in 2014 is a proof of the damage that terrorism has done to our country. It is now imperative that we approach a comprehensive approach to counter this terrorism. Distinguished judges, climate change poses a grave threat to the country of Pakistan. Floods of year 2022 and the ever-rising temperatures have devastated agriculture, displaced millions, and led to the degradation of our environment. It is high time that we invest in renewable energy, work with global partners to combat this crisis. My dear fellows, education is the backbone of any developed society, but unfortunately, Pakistan is lagging miles behind in its educational system, behind its peers. Millions of our children remain out of school, and our curriculum fails to meet the demand of the rapidly changing world. Our women, despite comprising half of our population, continue to face significant barriers in their education. Although this strength has decreased in the last couple decades, it could still be seen in rural and remote areas. As a youth of this country, we must advocate for quality education. We must advocate for women empowerment. Ladies and gentlemen, despite these challenges, Pakistan is a land of immense potential. Our youth, our strategic location, and our natural resources can transform our nation into a beacon of hope and opportunity. Together, it is up to us to work collectively with courage, with determination, and with vision to overcome the struggles of 21st century. Together, we must secure a brighter and more prosperous future for Pakistan, because what nations achieve in their life echoes in eternity. Thank you for your time.
Number 13, he was expressing his point of view in a very strong manner. And from the ladies' side, I'm going to invite from the batch number 13, Miss Simra Fatima.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Simra Fatma, and today the topic of my speech is Challenges of 21st Century and Pakistan. Ladies and gentlemen, the 21st century is an era of remarkable achievements and unprecedented challenges. Round the globe, the nations are racing ahead, building modern cities, revolutionizing the education, fostering the innovation, and ensuring the well-being of the other citizen. But as the world advances, the Pakistan finds itself grappling with the obstacle that threaten its potential. From political instability to weak education system, from weak law and order to underdeveloped infrastructure, we are facing the issue that keep us from standing shoulder to shoulder with the leading nations of the world. Today, I stand before you to discuss these challenges, not as a setback, but as an opportunity to rise, reflect, and reform. Now let's begin with education, the foundation of any nation's success. The country like China and United States are heavily investing in innovation and research, while we are struggling with the outdated system and lack of access to the quality education. The result? They are reaching for the stars, literally building the space station and inventing groundbreaking technologies. The nation like Finland have developed world-class education system, while we are struggling with the outdated system and low literacy rate. While others are preparing their youth to lead the nation, we risk leaving our unprepared for the challenges ahead. This is the time to ask whether we are preparing our youth for the future or leaving them behind in the past. Now let's talk about the politics and the democracy. In true democracy, the government works for the people with accountability and transparency. The elections are fair, the institutions are independent, and the leaders work for the policies that are beneficial for their citizens. While in contrast, the Pakistan political landscape is often marked by instability, corruption, and power struggle. The frequent change in the government, the lack of trust on the institutions, and the misuse of authority derail our progress and weakens the confidence of the people on democracy. Adding to this law and order situation, China has the lowest crime rate globally because of a strict law enforcement and fair judicial system, while Pakistan, with a weak law enforcement and increasing crime rates, are the major concern. Moreover, the rule of law often remains fragile. The country like Germany and United States enforce law equally on all citizens, while Pakistan struggles with a selective justice where the powerful often escapes accountability. This disparity undermines the foundation of democracy and creates the divisions in the society. In 21st century, innovation and research are the driving forces of progress. The country like China are inventing groundbreaking technologies, developing electric cars, and creating the revolutionary solutions that can change the way the world functions. They are investing in their youth, enabling them to develop groundbreaking technologies, advancements, and formulas, while we are struggling to keep up, not even producing a single significant innovation on the global stage. This gap exists because of lack of government support, insufficient funding, and outdated system that fails to encourage the student to explore their creative potential. Instead of fostering the environment where young minds can innovate, we hold them back with the rote learning. If Pakistan has to rise in the global arena, we must have to prioritize innovation and research and inspire our youth so that they can contribute to the future. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenges Pakistan are facing today are undeniable, but so is the resilience of its people. Whether it's the need to improve our education system, to improve our law and order situation, to improve our infrastructure system, the path ahead is clear. The world may be progressing at a breakneck pace, but Pakistan has the potential to catch up and even to lead. Let us remember, the challenges we are facing today does not define us, but how we respond to them does. If we commit to unite as a nation and believe in our collective strength, we can change the stories of struggles into success. The 21st century belongs to those who dare to dream and work to make these dreams into reality. Let Pakistan be one of those nations. Thank you.
Ms. Laiba Tariq from the batch number 13. Now, from the batch number 14, I would like to invite Mr. Mubashir Hussain Bandesha.
जी इन्नल हम्दुलिल्लाह वस्सलातु वस्सलामु अला रसूलिल्लाह अम्मा बाद फ़ाउज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम. Respected teachers, honorable guests and my fellows, assalamu alaikum. My name is Mubashir Hussain Bandesha. Today, as we stand in the threshold of the new era, I would like to talk about the challenges of 21st century and Pakistan. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine a nation with immense potential, with land rich in culture, brimming with natural resources, and young and ambitious minds. That nation is our beloved country, Pakistan. But as we step further into the 21st century, we find ourselves at a crossroads. The world around us is changing faster than ever before. Technology is reshaping industries, climate change is redefining priorities, and economies are globally interconnected. For Pakistan, these changes bring both unprecedented challenges and extraordinary opportunities. Today, I invite you to join me in exploring these challenges and understanding their impact on our beloved country, and envisioning how we as Pakistanis can overcome them to secure a brighter and stronger future for the Pakistan and for the generations to come. Ladies and gentlemen, as we navigate the challenges of 21st century, Pakistan finds itself in a grappling with critical issues. Let's start with our economy. In our economy, inflation, unemployment, and national debt weigh heavily on the nation's progress. Yet, within this challenge lies an opportunity to invest in our greatest asset, our people. By fostering entrepreneurships and improving vocational trainings, we can unlock economic prosperity. Another challenge we are facing today is our education system. Education is another cornerstone of the development, and it remains a challenge for Pakistan. Millions of children are out of schools, and those who attend are often face outdated curricula and limited resources. Imagine a Pakistan where every child has access to the quality education, regardless of background and gender. Another challenge today we are facing is climate crisis, a challenge not just for Pakistan, but for the entire world. However, our country's unique vulnerability demands immediate actions. The devastating floods of the recent years reminds us the cost of inactions. But through the initiatives like afforestation, renewable energy projects, and water conservation, we can not only mitigate these risks but also pave the way for sustainable growth. Another challenge we are facing today is security and extremism. Pakistan has made significant strides in combating terrorism and improving internal security. But the challenge of extremism remains a persistent issue. Over the years, the country has faced many forms of violence, from terrorist attacks to sectarian conflicts. These incidents not only harm the social harmony but also tarnish Pakistan's international reputation and foreign investments. Social and political changes also cast shadow over our aspirations. Yet the solution lies within us. Fostering accountability and promoting meritocracy and ensuring that every citizen's voice is heard can strengthen our democracy and bring about lasting change. Our resilience as a nation has been tested time to time, but Alhamdulillah, each time we have emerged stronger. But this time, our nation demands from us, and let us take these challenges not as obstacles, but as a stepping stones toward the progress. Together, as a student, as professionals and citizens, we can create a Pakistan that thrives on peace, prosperity, and inclusivity. And let us rise to the occasion and prove that Pakistan's best days are yet to come. Thank you very much.
Mr. Mubassir Hussain Bandesha from the batch number 14. Now I would like to call upon the second last contestant of today's speech is Miss Maryam Haroon from the batch number 14.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear respected teachers and students. The topic of my speech is about challenges of 21st century and Pakistan. Ladies and gentlemen, today I will talk about the challenges that Pakistan faces in the 21st century. As our country stands at a threshold of a new era, an era marked by unprecedented challenges and opportunities. This 21st century has brought with it a myriad of complexities that demand our attention and collective actions. As we all know, our country stands at a critical juncture, facing numerous challenges that threaten its stability, prosperity, and very existence. We are living in a world where technological advancements are happening at a high level of rate. The world is becoming increasingly interconnected, and the boundaries between the nations are also becoming increasingly blurred. However, this increased interconnectivity also brings the new challenge from cybersecurity. It's also threats to spread the misinformation. Actually, Pakistan in particular is facing a unique set of challenges. We are a country that has been plagued by terrorism, corruption, inequality, political issue, and also inflations. So there are many significant challenges that Pakistan faced in the 21st century. The first one is belong to law. There is no law in our country. This is also a big problem. Everyone does what they want. There is no one to stop. Instead of people have no thoughts of their own, they are doing what the other is doing. If the one is being wronged, the other is watching the spectacle. Why? Because there is no regulation of law in this country that can do justice. There is a huge lack of justice in our country, scarcity of consensus in our Pakistan, and this has become the big challenge for our nations and for our people. Apart this challenge, there's a lot of corruption in Pakistan. Honesty has disappeared from our people. People get everything done by paying the huge amount of money. Then what the need of justice in this country? Rich people will get everything done by paying the amount of money. Where should the poor people go who do not have enough resources to invest in these types of things? The third main challenge Pakistan faces in the 21st century is terrorism, which is still a problem because no one has come forward to solve this problem. And that's why many of our students, children and youngs have become the victims. Let everyone look at the tragedy of 16 December 2014 accident where many of our students, teachers were killed. And till today there was no justice about it. Why? Because there is no enforcement of law in our Pakistan. And our innocent students and children are bearing the punishment of this. The fourth big challenge in our Pakistan is political issue. And I think it is a bigger issue. We all are considered what is happening in our country. No one is ready to leave the chair of Prime Minister. Everyone is behind taking the chair of Prime Minister because no one is ready to leave it. But our young youth should also be given the chance to grow. The ideas of our rulers have become old. They did not change anything rather than destroyed our Pakistan. And debt of millions has gone up. But if we suspect the things, if they give the chance to our young generation, I think there will be a new generation, new ideas, and then greed will also be less. Otherwise, no one will come to solve this problem. The fifth big challenge. The fifth big challenge in our Pakistan is inflation. That is very high, especially in Pakistan. And this is such of a challenge that only poor people face, who can earn only little. How can they manage and afford such inflation? Our currency has no value. Our healthcare system is very poor, is very inadequate, inaccessible to millions of our citizens. Our education system is very bad. However, the modern technology has gone up and the new alternative machines has come through. I agree, due to which there has been a lot of progress according to the advanced point of view. But our poor farmers who used to do all this are sitting unemployed. There is unemployment everywhere because people are afraid of investing money in their own country, less to be wasted. And that's why they run away to the foreign countries because they don't want to work in the Pakistan. If the conditions of our country were better, then this loss would not have to be incurred. In our country, there is no rule of law and no one will be willing to invest. Still, the growth rate in Pakistan is zero. If there is no economic development, then we will not be able to get off debts and unemployment will not be end. So due to these challenges, I am very worried about Pakistan's future. So what we can do to address these challenges, first and foremost, we need to prioritize our education. We need to invest in our schools, in our agricultures, and in our industries. We need to promote a culture of vocational training, skills, and professional development so that our youth can compete in the global job market. Second, it is necessary to strengthen our institutions are independent, impartial, and effective. We need to promote a culture of transparency and accountability and ensure that who are indulged in the corrupt practices are brought to justice. Finally, we need to recognize that we all are Pakistani regardless of our religion, our language, and our province. We need to promote a culture of tolerance, respect, and cohesion and ensure that all our citizens feel included and valued. In conclusion, if the challenges that Pakistan faces in the 21st century are significant but not are insurmountable, I am confident we can compete and overcome these challenges with a clear vision and comprehensive strategy and can build a better future for ourselves and for our generations to come. And in the last, I want to say that morality, unity, and consensus is the most powerful thing to succeed every country. And I think if these things exist in our people, then no one can beat us. Thank you very much.
Boys and girls, the last contestants and the participant of today's speech is Miss Taiba Noor from the batch number 15.
Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It's great to see you all here. Today I want to talk to you about the challenges of the 21st century and how they specifically impact Pakistan. First and foremost, we have the pressing issue of the climate change. Rising temperatures, extreme weather events, and environmental degradation are all taking a devastating toll on our planet. We must take immediate actions to reduce our carbon footprints, invest in renewable energy, and protect our natural resources. The second challenge we face is socio-economic inequality. The gaps between the rich and the poor are widening, affecting the access to education, healthcare, and opportunities. We must work towards creating a society where everyone has access to same opportunities and resources. The third challenge is technological disruption. Rapid automation, artificial intelligence, and cybersecurity threats are changing the way we live and work. Although technology has the potential to bring about immense benefits, but we must also be aware of its risks and take steps to mitigate them. The fourth challenge we face is pandemics and health crises. The COVID-19 pandemic has shown us the devastating impact that infectious disease can have on our communities. We must invest in our healthcare system, develop new medicines and vaccines. Finally, we have the challenge of geopolitical tensions. Rising nationalism, conflicts, and global governance challenges are all threatening global stability and security. Ladies and gentlemen, now I want to talk to you about the challenges of the Pakistan. As Pakistanis, we have our own unique set of challenges. Our economy is unstable with inflation, debt, and balance of payment issues. Water scarcity is another major concern, with dwindling resources and inefficient management. Emigration of skilled professionals is also a major concern, leading to a loss of talent and expertise. Security concerns, including terrorism and extremism, continue to plague our nation. Corruption and governance issues also hinder our progress. Our rapid population growth and urbanization put a strain on our resources and infrastructure. Like frequent changes in government, corruption, and lack of accountability have led to political instability. Pakistan also faces numerous external challenges. One of the most pressing external challenges is the Kashmir dispute with India, which is the major source of conflict between the two nuclear-armed neighbors for decades. Another significant external challenge faced by Pakistan is the security situation along the borders. With Afghanistan, the porous border has allowed terrorist groups including Taliban and Haqqani network, which pose a significant threat to Pakistan's national security. The situation has been further complicated by the presence of the US and NATO forces in Afghanistan, which has led to tensions between the Pakistan and the US. Finally, Pakistan's participation in CPEC has also created external challenges. Although CPEC has introduced significant investment and infrastructure development to Pakistan, but it has also led to raised concerns about debt sustainability and regional imbalances. But despite these challenges, I remain optimistic about Pakistan's future. We have a young generation full of potential and energy. We have our opportunity to innovation and entrepreneurship. We can invest in renewable energy and to reduce our dependence on imported fuels. And most importantly, we can invest in human development, in education, in healthcare system, and social worker welfare to improve the lives of all Pakistanis. So let us work together to address these challenges and utilize these opportunities. Let us build a brighter future for Pakistan, a future that is prosperous, peaceful, and just for all. Thank you for listening.